Hey folks, welcome back to Stoic Talks. Let me be brutally honest with you. Right now, you're fooling yourself if you think what you're doing is going to make them focus on you. Do you seriously think that bending over backwards, chasing after them like you're the star of some tragic romance, is going to make them see you as the center of their world? News flash, it's not. You're playing a role in a story where you've given them all the power, and they don't even realize you're there because you've made yourself invisible. You've turned yourself into an extra in your own movie, someone who is just there to fill up space. And let me tell you, that's not going to cut it. Now, let's be real. You're probably feeling a mix of frustration, confusion, and fear. You're thinking, why can't they see me? What am I doing wrong? That fear, the one that whispers, if I stop trying so hard, they'll forget about me, is what's holding you back. You're afraid that if you stop chasing, they'll move on. But let me tell you something right now. That fear is the exact reason why you're stuck in this endless cycle of chasing their attention and never getting it. You're giving away all your power to that fear, and in doing so, you've made it easy for them to ignore you. Here's the solution to that fear. Stop giving them all the power. It's time to shift your mindset. You need to realize that when you stop chasing, you don't lose them. You make space for them to come to you. Attraction isn't about effort, it's about energy. If you're always the one giving, chasing, and seeking approval, they don't feel the need to invest any energy back into you. They know you're always there, waiting. But when you step back, when you create that space, they start to wonder about you. They start thinking, why aren't they chasing me anymore? That's when the power shifts, and they start to feel drawn to you. Think about it. How many times have you been scared to pull back, thinking they'll stop caring? That fear is real. But here's the truth. They're not going to stop caring because you're not chasing them. In fact, they'll start noticing you even more. When you create space, you create curiosity, and curiosity leads to attraction. They'll begin to see you in a new light, not as someone who's always available and easy to get, but as someone they want to know better. Another fear that creeps in is this: if I stop pleasing them, they'll find someone else. You've convinced yourself that being there for their every need will make them choose you. But you know what? That's not how attraction works. Constantly pleasing someone does not make you more attractive. It makes you predictable. And people don't value what's always available. The more you try to make someone happy by sacrificing your own needs, the more they take you for granted. Here's the solution. You need to start valuing yourself more. Stop thinking that your value comes from how much you can do for them. Your value comes from who you are, not from how much you give. When you respect yourself, others will start respecting you too. They'll see that you're not desperate for their approval, and that makes you someone they want to be around. Respect yourself enough to set boundaries. When you do that, you're not just becoming more attractive, you're becoming someone they can't afford to lose. Another problem that might be holding you back is the fear of not being good enough. You worry that you're not smart enough, not funny enough, not attractive enough to hold their attention. You're constantly trying to prove yourself, hoping that if you just do this one more thing, they'll finally see your worth. But here's the harsh truth. You can't prove your worth to someone. You have to know your worth and let them realize it on their own. The solution to this fear? Stop doubting yourself. When you know your own value, when you trust that you're enough just as you are, that confidence will naturally draw people to you. Confidence doesn't mean pretending to be someone you're not. It means being comfortable in your own skin, knowing that you bring something valuable to the table just by being yourself. And when you believe that, others will believe it too. Let me paint you a picture. Imagine two people. One is constantly trying to impress, always doing too much, always available, and always seeking approval. The other is calm, collected, and doesn't need to prove anything. They know their value and aren't trying to convince anyone of it. Which person do you think is more attractive? It's always the one who's secure in themselves. You need to become that person, the one who doesn't chase, doesn't beg for attention, but commands it naturally through their presence. So, what's the final fear you're battling? The fear of being alone. You're afraid that if you stop chasing after them, if you stop putting in all this effort, you'll end up alone, forgotten, and rejected. But let me tell you this. Being alone doesn't mean you're unwanted. In fact, sometimes stepping back and being alone is the most powerful thing you can do. It shows that you don't need someone else to complete you. You're complete on your own, and that's the most attractive quality anyone can have. The solution? Embrace your independence. Realize that your happiness doesn't depend on someone else choosing you. It depends on you choosing yourself first. When you do that, when you show them that you're happy and confident without them, they won't be able to resist being drawn to you. People are attracted to those who are independent, those who don't rely on others for their sense of worth. In the end, becoming the center of someone's attraction isn't about trying harder or giving more. It's about knowing who you are, valuing yourself, and letting them come to you. You can't force attraction, but you can create the space where it naturally happens by stepping into your own power, setting boundaries, and believing that you are enough just as you are. So, are you ready to stop chasing and start becoming the one they can't help but be drawn to? Stick with me, because in this video, we're going to break down exactly how you can flip the script and naturally become their center of attraction. Trust me, once you embrace these steps, they'll start noticing you in ways they never did before. Before moving ahead, affirm with me, I am unforgettable. My presence is magnetic. Say it, believe it, and write it down in the comments. This isn't about impressing anyone else. This is for you. You're no longer fading into the background, no longer waiting for someone to notice your worth. Today, you claim your presence, your power, and your uniqueness. Let them realize that you are someone they will never forget. Now drop that affirmation in the comments. I am naturally magnetic, and step into the version of you that naturally becomes the center of their attraction, effortlessly commanding their attention, without chasing or trying. Apologies for the oversight. Here's the detailed text, rewritten for point number 2 and 3 exactly as provided, with added punctuation for clarity. 2. Create space for curiosity. When it comes to becoming someone's center of attraction, one of the most powerful tools you can use is curiosity. Here's the truth. If you're always there, always available, always answering their texts within seconds, where's the mystery? Where's the intrigue? You've essentially told them everything there is to know about you, leaving nothing for them to wonder about. Attraction thrives on curiosity, and if you don't give them room to wonder about you, you lose that pull. Think about it. How often have you worried, what if I don't respond quickly? What if they forget about me? That fear is real, but it's also keeping you stuck. When you're constantly in their face, being overly available, you become predictable. People don't feel as drawn to what's always right in front of them. What you need to do is create space. Space for them to think about you, miss you, and wonder what you're up to. Curiosity is like a magnet. When they don't have all the answers about you, they'll naturally be drawn back, trying to fill in the gaps themselves. So, how do you do this without playing games? The answer is simple: pull back a little. This doesn't mean ghosting or disappearing entirely, but stop being so readily available. Stop feeling the need to respond to every message right away or say yes to every invite. The key here is to create a slight gap in their access to you. Let them experience what it's like not to have you at their fingertips 24/7. This space allows them to start thinking about you more, wondering where you've been and why you're not as accessible as before. That curiosity will naturally lead to attraction because they'll want to close that gap themselves. 3. Be mysterious but genuine. When it comes to becoming the center of attraction naturally, there's a perfect balance between being mysterious and being genuine. The problem is, most people don't get this balance right. Either they spill everything about themselves too soon, or they try to be so mysterious that they come across as fake. The secret lies in revealing just enough to build a connection while still leaving parts of yourself unexplored. When you do this, you create intrigue, and that's what draws people toward you. Let's start with what being mysterious really means. It's not about playing mind games or being secretive to the point of being unreachable. It's not about acting like you don't care when you do or pretending to be something you're not. That's not mystery. That's manipulation, and it never works in the long run. Instead, being mysterious is about holding back just enough so that the other person feels there's always more to discover about you. When they feel like they haven't fully figured you out, they stay interested. They keep wanting to know more. As Marcus Aurelius once said, the soul becomes dyed with the color of its thoughts. If your thoughts are centered around trying to impress or reveal everything to someone too soon, you'll come across as needy. But if your mind is grounded in self-assurance, and you know there's no rush to share everything all at once, your natural mystery starts to shine through. You become someone they want to explore, not because you're withholding, but because you're genuinely confident in your own value. Being mysterious doesn't mean being cold or distant. It means giving them just enough to pique their interest, but holding back from giving them the full story right away. Think of it like watching a great movie. You don't want all the twists and secrets to be revealed in the first 10 minutes. It's the build-up, the slow unraveling of the story, that keeps you hooked. In the same way, when you slowly let someone into your life piece by piece, they remain curious, wanting to learn more about you. However, the other half of this equation is just as important: being genuine. While it's tempting to create a persona or act in ways that you think will keep them interested, it's essential to stay true to who you are. People can sense when someone is being fake, and nothing kills attraction faster than inauthenticity. To be genuinely mysterious, you have to let your true personality shine through while still maintaining a sense of restraint. How do you do this? First, be selective with what you share. Not everything needs to be laid out on the table immediately. For example, if someone asks you about your weekend, don't feel the need to tell them every detail. Instead, share just enough to keep the conversation going. Something like, "It was a great weekend. I tried something new, and it really made me think differently." You've shared something, but you've also created a little mystery. They might want to know what you did, why it changed your thinking, and suddenly they're more engaged. Another way to be mysterious but genuine is by showing your emotions, but in a measured way. You don't need to overshare or constantly express your feelings in a dramatic fashion. Instead, let them know that you value deep connections, but that you also take your time opening up. This signals that there's more to you than meets the eye, that you have layers, and it creates a sense of emotional depth that they'll want to explore. As Epictetus wisely said, "We have 2 ears and 1 mouth so that we can listen twice as much as we speak." By sharing less and listening more, you create a natural attraction. People are drawn to those who don't overshare, but instead offer glimpses into their inner world. Now let's talk about what it feels like when you master this balance. Imagine you're a book that doesn't reveal every chapter at once. If all your pages are ripped out and displayed from the start, there's no excitement. But if you let them turn the pages, discovering the story bit by bit, they'll be captivated, wanting to keep reading. That's the key to becoming their center of attraction naturally. Let them discover you over time instead of overwhelming them with too much too soon. But what if you're worried about not sharing enough? What if you think they'll lose interest because you're holding back? Here's the truth. When you hold back in a genuine way, it makes you more attractive. People are drawn to what they can't fully understand. If you show everything all at once, you risk becoming predictable, and predictability is the enemy of attraction. When you leave some mystery, they'll want to dig deeper to uncover the layers of your personality. This is what keeps them coming back, wanting to learn more about you. Here's where I need you to take this seriously. Be mysterious, but stay real. Don't play games. Don't try to be someone you're not. Just share what feels right in the moment while keeping some things private. Give them enough to stay interested, but hold back just enough to keep them curious. The goal isn't to make them chase you because you're unavailable. The goal is to make them naturally drawn to you because you're confident, genuine, and still full of surprises. So here's your challenge. Embrace the mystery, but stay grounded in who you are. This is how you become their center of attraction naturally. 4. Radiate calm confidence. If you want to become the center of their attraction naturally, you need to stop relying on loud, showy displays and instead master the art of calm confidence. True confidence isn't about being the center of attention at all times. It's about having a steady, unshakable belief in your own value, no matter who is watching. It's the quiet strength that people sense, even when you're not trying to show it off. The more you radiate this calm confidence, the more naturally people will be drawn to you. Let's be clear. Calm confidence is rooted in one thing: self-assurance. You don't need to prove yourself to anyone. You don't need their approval to feel good about who you are. When you carry this energy, you become a magnet for attraction. People are drawn to those who seem in control of themselves and their emotions. There's a peace about them, a quiet power that can't be ignored. As the Stoic philosopher Marcus Aurelius said, "The happiness of your life depends upon the quality of your thoughts." When you focus on cultivating calm, positive thoughts about yourself, you naturally begin to project that calm energy outward. People will sense your confidence, not through what you say, but through your presence. You don't need to speak loudly or act out to be noticed. When you're secure in your own value, people will feel it. Your calm energy does all the talking for you. Calm confidence is also about emotional control. You're not reactive. You don't let small things rattle you, and you certainly don't let others dictate how you feel about yourself. Think of this as emotional mastery. A key principle of Stoicism, Epictetus once said, "It's not what happens to you, but how you react to it that matters." When you practice emotional control, people will see you as someone who's grounded, who can handle any situation without losing composure. This makes you incredibly attractive because it shows that you're not easily swayed by external forces. Now, how do you start radiating calm confidence? It begins with self-awareness. Pay attention to how you react in situations. Do you feel the need to speak up just to fill the silence? Do you constantly seek validation? These are signs of insecurity. Instead, practice being comfortable with silence. Not every moment needs to be filled with words or actions. When you're calm in your own presence, others will start to feel calm and attracted to that energy as well. Another tip is to focus on your body language. Confidence isn't just what you say, it's how you carry yourself. Stand tall, make eye contact, and walk with purpose. But don't overdo it. Remember, calm confidence is subtle. You don't need to be in people's faces to make them notice you. Just by holding yourself in a way that exudes quiet strength, you naturally draw attention. Finally, remember this. Calm confidence means you don't chase. You don't run after anyone's approval or attention. You stand firm in your own value, and that alone pulls people toward you. As Seneca said, "A wise man is content with his lot, whatever it may be, without wishing for what he is not." You don't need to seek out attention, because you know that by radiating calm confidence, it will come to you naturally. Embrace this step fully. Focus on mastering calm confidence and watch how it shifts the way people see you. If you're ready to be someone others can't help but notice, practice emotional control, maintain self-assurance, and let your presence do the talking. 5. Give them emotional space. Let's dive into one of the most overlooked steps in becoming their center of attraction naturally: giving them emotional space. This is where many people struggle because it feels counterintuitive. You think that the more love, attention, and care you give someone, the more they'll be drawn to you. But let me tell you something. Too much emotional pressure can suffocate any attraction. Constantly checking in on them, needing constant reassurance, or always being the one to initiate conversations can make you seem clingy and overdependent. The truth is, for someone to be truly attracted to you, they need to feel your presence without being overwhelmed by it. Here's the key. When you give them emotional space, you're allowing them to miss you, to think about you on their own terms. You're creating a gap where they begin to realize what they might be taking for granted. You need to let them come to you. Attraction doesn't grow in a space where one person is constantly pushing for attention. It grows in the balance of being available, but not always there at the drop of a hat. When they feel like they can breathe, they'll start to appreciate the moments they have with you even more. Stoic wisdom fits perfectly here. As Marcus Aurelius once said, "Waste no more time arguing what a good man should be. Be one." This quote isn't just about how you act. It's about the energy you project. Stop trying to prove how much you care, how much you deserve their attention. Instead, focus on being someone who stands firm in their own emotional independence. When you're emotionally stable and not constantly seeking validation, you naturally become more attractive. They will start seeing you as someone who doesn't need constant approval, and that creates a sense of mystery and admiration. But let's address the difficulty here. Pulling back emotionally can feel risky. You might fear that if you stop initiating or showing constant affection, they'll move on. You might think, if I'm not there, will they forget about me? But here's the truth. If they're only interested in you because you're constantly available and emotionally invested, then that attraction isn't deep. It's built on convenience. By giving them space, you're giving them a chance to invest in you as well. When you step back, you allow them to lean in, and if they don't, that's a sign that they never truly valued the relationship in the first place. Think of it like this. Imagine you're holding a balloon. If you hold it too tightly, it pops. But if you let it go entirely, it floats away. The balance lies in holding it gently, allowing it the freedom to move while still keeping it close. That's exactly what giving emotional space does. It's about finding that balance where you're still emotionally connected, but not overbearing. You're allowing them the freedom to come to you, to appreciate you without feeling pressured. To truly embrace this step, you need to trust yourself and your value. By pulling back a little, you're not losing control, you're gaining it. They'll notice the shift in your energy, and they'll start wondering why they don't hear from you as much, why you're not always checking in. And that curiosity, that's where attraction begins to grow. They'll start reaching out to you, thinking about you, and realizing they miss the emotional connection they once took for granted. So, give them emotional space, and watch how it shifts the dynamic. They'll start seeing you as someone independent, confident, and emotionally stable, qualities that naturally draw people in. You're not disappearing. You're simply allowing them the room to appreciate your presence. 6. Stay passionate about your life. One of the most powerful ways to naturally become the center of attraction is to stay passionate about your own life. When you live with passion, purpose, and excitement, people can't help but be drawn to you. It's not about impressing them or seeking their approval. It's about creating a life that excites you. People are naturally attracted to those who are passionate because passion is contagious. When they see you pursuing your goals, chasing your dreams, and genuinely enjoying your life, they'll want to be part of that energy. Stoicism teaches us that external things, like relationships or approval from others, shouldn't define our happiness. Instead, focus on what you can control, your own growth, and the things that bring you joy. Marcus Aurelius said it best, "The happiness of your life depends upon the quality of your thoughts." When your thoughts are focused on your own passions, you radiate confidence and fulfillment, which naturally draws others toward you. So, if you want to become their center of attraction, focus on creating a life that you're passionate about. Take up a hobby that excites you, learn new things, dive into a project that lights you up. When you're passionate about your own life, they'll see that you don't need them to feel fulfilled. You're already living a full, meaningful life. This energy makes you stand out without even trying. Passion brings confidence. Confidence brings attraction, and attraction brings them closer to you naturally. Keep your focus on your journey and watch how they begin to gravitate toward your passion and energy. Remember, it's not about chasing, it's about creating a life that others want to be part of. 7. Master the power of silence. Silence is one of the most overlooked yet effective ways to become the center of their attraction naturally. It's not about retreating or withholding, but about using pauses and moments of stillness to build intrigue and respect. When you allow silence to settle in a conversation, you convey confidence. You show that you are not desperate to fill every gap with words, and this quiet strength speaks volumes about your self-assurance. It makes them curious about you, and curiosity is a key element of attraction. When you master the power of silence, you control the flow of interactions. People are drawn to those who don't rush to speak because it suggests you are thoughtful, not impulsive. In relationships, this creates a sense of mystery and makes them wonder about you, which naturally draws them closer. They begin to seek your words because your silence makes them more valuable. Think of it like this. When you hold back and listen more than you speak, you give others the space to reveal themselves, and that deepens the connection. The power of silence helps you avoid coming across as needy or overbearing, and instead, You seem composed and in control. It's an effortless way to become more attractive. As Marcus Aurelius said, silence is a source of great strength. By using silence strategically, you're showing that you don't need to constantly talk to be noticed. You allow your presence to fill the room, and people can't help but be intrigued by that calm, unspoken confidence. To embrace this, practice being comfortable with quiet moments. Don't feel the need to fill every silence with chatter. Let people talk, let the room breathe, and notice how they start to focus on you in a way that feels natural and effortless. Stay tuned for more captivating stories that will keep you on the edge of your seat. Don't forget to like, share, and subscribe for your next thrilling experience.